This is a Potawatomi word pronounced Ishikagoa. We knew the natives called this land Ishikagoa, so we put it on the map. But what Chicago means is strong and powerful onion. Great. Again, this was swampland, marsh area, very distinctive, very smelly onions and garlic were growing here. So the natives knew that Chicago was a land of bad smells. We did not find out until it was too late to change the name. I would like white stripes represent our neighborhoods, the north side, the west side, and the south side. We don't have an east side because we're not in Michigan. And those 4 red stars represent major events in Chicago 1. The 3rd star for the World's Fair of 1893, the 4th star for the World's Fair of 1933. And easy way to remember that is Fort, Fire, Fair, and Fair. Cameras and take some photos because here's your introduction to the gorgeous Chicago skyline. While you're enjoying the views and taking your photos, we're going to dive into architecture, as I said, the focus here today. So this tower is our new 3rd tallest building by Jeannie Gang Studios. Now she is one of the premier architects of the world. She is known as a star tech, Illinois born and very sought after. So we're really thrilled to have her adding to our skyline once again. You can see the beautiful shape of these towers, how they bow out, they go in, they concave, they give. They're clad in blue glass, which is the new trend. Always referential to the bodies of water she builds next to. You can always tell a Jeannie Gang building because she does these very fluid designs. The bottom floors will be a hotel, the rest of course condominiums. The tallest tower has topped out now at 101 stories. It's 1,191 feet. Making this is at 1,388 feet. The decorative spire is included in that total height. On the left-hand side, triangle-shaped building. Here we have is called Aqua Tower, of course. 2009, Jeannie Gang Studios, same female architect. Around the turn of the century to the mid-20s, we really did not have a lot of American-based architecture books. We were forced to look towards Europe for inspiration. So the building is done in a Spanish cathedral style like you would find in Seville, Spain. In fact, the clock tower is based off the La Hielda. First portion of Wrigley from 1921, the addition from 1920 stereo style, made evident by the columns out in front and the cupola adorning the top. It's from 1924 and today's the London House Hotel. This is built on the site of Fort Dearborn, that first U.S. base in Chicago. You will see the security of the building. Now, car elevators by 1926 standards were impossible to maintain. That cost so much money, they removed the elevator core completely in 1940. Back over to the right, we have that plain black building. Sure, we are going to hear his name a lot because this design is very significant. It's called Black Box Modernism. Now this was being on the Great Depression and World War II, a very frugal generation. Here's a very frugal skyscraper. So literally just steel holding it up, glass holding it in, and that's it. The general point of the term, less is more. These 2 curved linear towers, these are called Marina City. In Chicago, we love to refer to them as the four modern phoenixes. At the top, the residential is now the House of Blues, a music venue, and below that you're on Marina. Anything you could ever need. If the parking garage is making you nervous, don't worry. They do have highly trained parking attendants to park your vehicle for you to make sure you don't make any mistakes. Modernism style, reinvented very classic style like the Greek temple. If you look towards the top, it's reminiscent of the Parthenon in Greece as the river stretched out to become a skyscraper. Now the silver reflective curtain wall gives the building the illusion that you can actually see right through it. I love seeing it on periods like today as it's balcony with the blue building next to it. The top of the stonefront building is blue, giving a tip of the hat to its friend and neighbor South Back because she was there first. It's a respect in our skyline to acknowledge the ones who come before you. Still using old raw materials like stone, this is much more streamlined. So this sort of block is a $100 million project. We're doing an additional $12 million extension. For right now, it does seamlessly connect the lakefront to Old Point. They will be extending it from Old Point all the way to Chinatown. Every section or room of the Riverwalk is a different theme. You have fountains, gelato stands, boat rentals, floating gardens, all kinds of stuff. It's a beautiful scenic way to get through the downtown area and a beautiful example of Art Deco style. Also, look at this guy on the sets. Yeah. Very good. Hey, yeah, keep up the good work. No. Now we're in the Y-shaped intersection of the river called Old Point where the main branch, the north branch, and south branch meet. This one has silver piping which runs around the length, giving it an updated look of those Miesian style windows. This tower is the smallest. The what will be on this plot of land, 2 more additional towers. The one under construction, the tower train is Wolf Point Tower East. When completed, that will be a 60-story residential park. We keep it up in a raised position. We do lower the bridge just once a year. The city drives a truck across, and they declare that it is still a bridge, and then for 1 more year. The refrigerator, one of many where we can meat from the Union Stockyards. If you look at their balconies, you'll see the walls are 3 to 4 feet thick. So when they decided to renovate this in the 80s into condos, they not only had to saw the 4-foot walls, they congregate in the middle of a circle, much like people gather around a bonfire. Real quickly, this little power station to the right with the 2 smokestacks, 1931, Graham Anderson, Probst, and White. This building is a
मागे पुढे वा ना.
Wonderful. Well, while you're enjoying the views and snapping those photos, let's go ahead and address the big boy in front of the vessel now. So directly in front of us is the most iconic building in our skyline. It is also the tallest building in Chicago. Super tall black skyscraper, 2 white and tennis. If you're not from here, you probably think it's called the Willis Tower. That's because in 2009, the Willis Insurance Brokerage Company from England leased out only 3 floors, but they also bought the naming rights. So technically, yes, it is the Willis Tower. I'm just here to let you guys know that absolutely no one in Chicago calls it that. So for today's purposes, it's the Sears/Willis Tower. Sears/Willis Tower total height is 1,451 feet, 110